What's going on, guys? R.I.Pierre here, using that max power turn on YouTube as usual, and today we are back with week 4 of the GPC season 4. Alright, so this week we're against Parasens, coached by Rufus. His links will be in the description below. You should all go check him out when you have the chance. And he has quite possibly one of the more difficult teams for me to prepare for, at least in my division. Although at the same time it is kind of, I don't know, it's weird. It's simple, but at the same time it really isn't. But keeping all that in mind, he has Clefable, Skarmory, Shaman, Slowking, Goodra, Heliolisk, Megaglele, Infernape, Gigalith, and Shelmet. So well, okay, we'll just ignore Shelmet there for a second. But he's got a good amount of bulk on the team, as well as some power behind it. And he does have that, of course, Infernape and Megaglele, which are very potent offensive threats, and Heliolisk, which is also a threat in and of itself if he decides to bring it. But looking at my team, I did really feel like I felt pretty good about this matchup. I just needed to make sure Clefable couldn't do anything, if at all possible. Although that is kind of difficult. It's, well, no, not too difficult because I have a Scizor. But at the same time, Clefable, of course, can carry Fire Blaster Flamethrower to help dispatch of Scizor if it's weakened. On a switch, anyways, because it's not. No one's keeping Clefable in unless you're like the Lord of predictions, and you get that good one. But anyways, that is not what we're here for. So now that you've seen both of our teams, might as well. And I didn't open a team builder tab. RIP. All right, we will be right back. All right, we're back. So, have I ever done the whole? I think I did too big screen. Oh well, whatever. So first up, this is our team right here. So first up, we have Sophia the Mega Gardevoir, of course, as usual, with Gardevoir, Pixelate, Hyper Voice, Psyshock, Thunderbolt, and Healing Wish. Thunderbolt was specifically for his Skarmory, which is going to be quite problematic for me. Of course, Skarmory is probably going to carry Iron Head to deal with Gardevoir, as most do when the opponent has a Fairy type. But Thunderbolt does help me to take it out when it's a little lower. If it's not specially defensive, it's going to do good amounts of damage. Even if it is specially defensive, it's going to do decent damage. And Healing Wish was specifically for Scizor in case Clefable was still around later on and I didn't need Gardevoir anymore, or for actually, that's kind of it. Or Delilah. You'll see later. But yeah. And then yeah, I have standard max special attack, max speed. I did max speed because of Shaman being around. I wanted at least, if it came down to Gardevoir and Shaman for whatever reason, I wanted to at least have a chance to tie with it, rather than just lose outright the speed tie and then have something happen where I just lose because of it. So better safe than sorry. Next up, we have Edward. Oh my gosh, I suck. Edward the Scizor hands with Choice Band, Technician, Bullet Punch, Superpower, Knockoff, U-Turn. Very standard. Superpower was for Skarmory, I believe. Yeah, so I can hit Skarmory a little harder. And Heliolisk, as well as being able to take out Glalie on a well, Glalie is not switching in, but like Infernape and stuff like that might want to switch into a Bullet Punch. And yep. So that was that. That's what that was for. Next up, we have Delilah the Chandelure, Life Orb, Flash Fire, Calm Mind, Pain Split, Fire Blast, and Shadow Ball. Max speed, max special attack. I wanted to run Scarf, but I felt like Life Orb was necessary and I needed the extra boost of power. So this is Chandelure's season debut, actually, by the way. So I was very interested in seeing how, in seeing how this panned out. So I bought Flash Fire for his Infernape. Although, for the most part, he probably would be safe and go for Earthquake or whatever move, or pull a double switch or something like that in that situation. But I have Calm Mind just in case I wanted, if for whatever reason Infernape isn't carrying Earthquake, or I have, don't know what I was going to say next. Or if he was choiced and locked into something and had to switch out, I could just go ahead and set up Calm Mind. It helped me. I would also need Goodra out of the way. Calm Mind was basically late game. If I kept it late game and I was able to sweep, that would have been my go-to. And Pain Split was just so I could stay around a little bit longer with my Life Orb too. And also as like a last resort type thing, let's say I'm out against his Slate King, and his Slate King is Assault Vested for just to go for just for a hypothetical. Let's say his Slate King is Assault Vested. My Pain Split at like really low is probably going to do more than what Shadow Ball would have done, so that's really it. And stuff like that, like for Goodra as well, things that can't really hurt too well. Next up, we have Old School Alarm, the Bronzong with Akaberry, Earthquake, Reflect, Stealth Rock, and Gyro Ball. I ran Akaberry before. Actually, I had this as heat proof. I guess it switched off. But basically, I had it as heat proof so that he would go for the well, it's not. What did I don't remember actually. 1 second. Okay, so before everybody came home and ruined it, I was going over this set, Bronzong, Old School Alarm, with Akaberry, Levitate, Earthquake, Reflect, Stealth Rock, Gyro Ball. I don't remember how far I went with this, but it's pretty straightforward. Gyro Ball was for Clefable, well, it was Stab plus for Clefable as well. Earthquake was to deal damage to Infernape, which would have not killed me with Flare Blitz, unless, no, not at all, because if Victini couldn't kill this, then Infernape isn't. So, so Earthquake was to retaliate to that, which should have killed it if it was at, I don't know, I think it was 70 something that I needed it at for Earthquake to kill. I'm not sure what Infernape would be at, but there's that. Stealth Rock, of course, to have rocks up, apply some pressure, and Reflect was because it looked like his team was more physically threatening than specially. So next up, we have Dual Disc, the Haxorus with Life Orb, Mold Breaker, Earthquake, Poison Jab, Superpower, and Dragon Claw. Just a perfect coverage monster. I think this was like the last thing I threw in the team because I did not do anything with speed or anything like that to tailor the EVs, but nevertheless, this is perfect. Pretty much perfect coverage for his team. Superpower hits his Skarmory, whereas nothing else on the team really does. Nothing else on the in the set really does. Poison Jab hurts Clefable. Earthquake hurts his Infernape, and Dragon Claw is for basically anything else. And then that's that. And last but not least, we have Cruel Camper, the Tentacruel. I hope people are understanding this name by now. But now we've got Black Sludge, Clear Body, Rapid Spin, Scald, Toxic Spikes, and Knockoff. I'm pretty sure I slurred like half of those words, but nonetheless, we have Scald because, wow, I just realized I did not run a Poison type move against a team that possibly had a Clefable. Oh well, I guess I felt confident enough in my other stuff, but the fact that the one mon that can probably take anything from Clefable did not have anything to do with it. Okay, that was an error. Anyways, Rapid Spin, of course, to get rid of hazards. Scald, help with burns and help me deal with the burns in... What was I going to say? The burns that help me deal with Skarmory especially. Blessed Stab, so it's a good bit of damage for Tentacruel. Knockoff to get rid of items, of course, the annoying ones. And I think that's about it. So we're going to go ahead and head into the replay. As usual, we just switched recordings. So I will see you guys in just a second. Make sure you check out Parasens, Rufus. There we go. Could not remember. Oh boy, this has been something. But yeah, make sure you check him out. You're probably going to hear me say it again in like 2 seconds anyway. So I'll go in depth then. Anyway, we'll be right back. Welcome back. So those of you who skipped here, just to reiterate, make sure you check out my opponent, Parasens, aka Rufus. His stuff will be in the description below, his Twitter channel. You should go check him out. He's a pretty funny guy. You should definitely follow his Twitter. So looking at his team, he brought pretty much everything I thought he would, except for the fact that I don't see Clefable. But considering he has everything I thought he would bring, I was kind of preparing for. Well, I guess yeah, you prepare for the whole team, but you know, it's like a gaping hole. I guess there's one thing I didn't really. I don't know. Slowking does a lot. All of these mons really belong. He put the team together rather well. It was probably one of the most difficult ones I've built for so far, if not the. Yeah, I think it's actually the most difficult I've built for so far in the 4 weeks we've been playing so far. I said it like 5. I heard myself saying it 5 times, but wow, okay, the lag. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna lead off with my alarm here. He's go for T-Bolt. That did 50, and I'm like, well, shit. So I get my rocks up, and then I'm like, all right, what am I gonna do here? So I'm gonna Volt Switch out, and did I go for Earthquake here? Let me just let this go for a second. I did go for Earthquake. Yes, I did. All right, so I went for Earthquake on his Slowking, which obviously doesn't mean anything. I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. I don't need Bronzong anymore because the fact that it was that low, really meant that it wasn't going to do much for me. So he's going to swap out here and go into his Skarmory. I believe I clicked U-turn. Yeah, I clicked U-turn, and it is going to be revealed that he is Rocky Helmet. So that's something to keep in mind for later. So I'm going to go to Chandelure here, as there really isn't much he could do to me before I take it out. So he's going to go into Goodra, which is a great switch on his part. Great option to bring. It does 22 with Fire Blast, Life Orbed, and the fact that it doesn't have a leftovers is really good for me. So he goes for Earthquake here, and I royally screwed up here. I knew it had Flamethrower, but for some reason I was like, oh no, he might not carry it. No, why would I ever? I have a Scizor on my team. Anyways, so I get destroyed there, and I'm going to go ahead and switch into Gardevoir, and I'm going to Mega Evolve. So he's going to take this Hyper Voice, 36%. So he's got 49 left, and T-Bolt is going to hit him for the rest of his HP, and it is a crit. Now, he said this crit matters. Hyper Voice did 36%, so T-Bolt shouldn't do a ton more, and he was Assault Vested, so it probably mattered, to be honest. And if you look at the following turns, you'll see that this was actually an issue. So Thunderbolt came in, and it only did about a little more than half to Gardevoir, and Slash Shock is going to take out his Heliolisk there. So now we're here, and he's got his Infernape out. This is an incredibly annoying mon for my team. So I go to Chandelure here. I kind of expected the Earthquake. Now, this might have been a misplay on his part. Instead of staying in and taking out my Chandelure, he swaps out into his Goodra. I mean, it does help possibly preserve the fact that he might be Scarfed, but now I have enough HP to the point where 2 Life Orb Shadow Balls takes out his Goodra, and I'm going to take it out while Chandelure is going to go down. So she did her thing. And now Haxorus can come out, Dual Disc, and oh wow, I completely missed that situation. Okay, let's go back one. This wasn't last turn, but oh well, yes, yeah. Alright, so we'll wait for it to show up. So we're both gonna go down here. Give me a second, and then we'll pause when I get to what I wanted to say. Alright, so both mons are gone. We both have to put a switch in. So I have Mega Gardevoir, Haxorus, and Tentacruel here. He has his Glalie, his Skarmory, and his Infernape. Now, there are a bunch of different scenarios and ways this could go. If I send out my Gardevoir, and he sends out anything that isn't Infernape, then I win the trade-off. If I send out Haxorus, and he sends out anything that isn't Skarmory, I win the trade-off. And there's no way I would send out Tentacruel, because there really is no reason for me to, although it would be pretty much an even trade if he sends out Skarmory. But the fact that I can't really get anything up in the process, I could probably get up a layer of Toxic Spikes maybe for later, but Skarmory will probably have Brave Bird on it, so there really is no reason for me to put Tentacruel in that situation. So my best option is actually Haxorus, because the fact that it is also at max HP, that's something to keep in mind. With Infernape at 88, I could take out Infernape without really any issue. Skarmory was the only thing really that would mess with Haxorus a little bit on the switch in, but Haxorus could deal with it at least a little bit. And Infernape being fast and everything was an issue. But I'm gonna go ahead and send out Haxorus here. He's gonna send out his Glalie, and this is actually gonna go out very well because he turned out to be a special Glalie, and I'm going to go ahead and go for Superpower here and take it out because I am faster than it before it Mega Evolves. He might have been carrying Ice Shard as a secondary thing, but nevertheless, I'm going to let my Haxorus go down here as he goes for close combat. So I'm going to go into my Tentacruel here. Now, I gauged this based off of the damage his Earthquake did to my Chandelure earlier, considering Tentacruel's defense and HP. Its HP is higher than Chandelure's is because I don't have any investment. I think it naturally is too, but I also have some defense investment as well, and it is either a little lower or a little bit higher than Chandelure's. And Chandelure took the Earthquake, didn't take it well, but it was able to survive, so I would be able to take him out with the Scald here. So basically he has to bank everything on being able to finish my team with those two, and I have to make sure that Tentacruel doesn't take any more damage. So I'm going to go ahead and switch into my Gardevoir. I don't know what I was expecting here, to be honest. I did not expect to die. That's one thing I'll say. But he's Rocky Helmet instead of Life Orb, instead of Leftovers, excuse me. So I'm going to be able to take him out with this Scald here. So he needs an Earthquake and he needs an Earthquake and a crit in order to win this game, but he's going to get the Earthquake, does 61, and I am going to hit him with the Scald and finish the game. I was actually kind of scared. I was like, he's at 64. Tentacruel's pretty weak. I don't know. But Infernape does go down, and we do win our game 4 of the season. All of our games have been decided by 2 or less. We beat Jesse by 2. We beat Rufus by 1. We beat Merc by 1, and we lost to Bluesy by 1. That was heartbreaking. But nevertheless, this was a good battle. Questionable plays on both our parts, but it was reasonable, and it did go very quickly, as do most of my battles, because it's just how I roll, you know. I don't want to be sitting in front of the screen for like 2 hours. Shit. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure you check out Parasens, and make sure if you're new, you subscribe. And on your way out, make sure to like the video. The exposure is definitely very, very much appreciated by both myself and the GPC. Make sure you check out the GPC channel in the links below. And Lars does the thumbnails for us week to week, so make sure you check him out as well. He's a hard worker. So, I will catch you guys later. Until we meet again. All right, peace out.